question I hear a lot from first-time authors is, I just completed my first draft. Now what do I do? This is a super common question, and there's so much advice to be given. I've kind of come up with a process in my head, and that is the advice I give my potential clients or people who are posting on Facebook writing groups. I give them this advice, and I just thought, why not put it in a video for you? So take it or leave it. I've never written a novel. I've never self-published a book, but I am a fairly experienced line editor and copy editor, and I've got some thoughts on this process. Congratulations are in order because you just finished the first draft of your novel. Do you realize how amazing that is? I would be celebrating. So I hope you've celebrated, and if you haven't, you need to stop this video and go celebrate. Whether that's lying in bed for the rest of the day, eating chocolate, going out with your friends tonight, taking yourself out to lunch or dinner, or whatever makes you happy right now, go do it. Now that you've celebrated, you need to let it rest. You need to save that manuscript, close it, and not open it again for 2 weeks to 2 months. Trust me, this will serve you well in the self-editing process. So take that break. Let's pretend you actually listened to me and you're coming back to this video a month later. In this step, you're gonna play pretend. You're gonna act as though you're a reader who's never seen this story before. You're gonna wipe your memory clean of the story and you're gonna read through it with no expectations, but to be entertained. Read through the whole thing with this mindset. If you can't do it all in one sitting, that's totally fine, but bonus points if you do. As you read, take notes on your reactions, your thoughts, your feelings, any guesses you would make if you didn't know about the story. And just consider these questions. Am I being entertained? Is this interesting? Am I enjoying this? How am I feeling as I read this? What do I love about this setting or world? What do I love about these characters? What do I love about the story as a whole? What's annoying the crap out of me about this story? Then you're going to do one of two things. You're going to either take a break, I suggest 3 to 30 days, and then start your revisions. Or if you're excited and you're ready and motivated, start your revisions now. So you're going to go through each one of your notes, and if there's anything you can do to your story, any way you can revise it to improve the things that needed to be improved upon, or just change it in any way you think would help your story, do that now. You don't have to go in order. In fact, I recommend starting with the thing that excites you the most, or with the revision that you think will have the biggest impact on the success of your story. This might take weeks, but that's okay. This is part of the revision process, and every good writer does this. Once again, you are going to choose one of two things. You're either going to repeat the last few steps, meaning you're going to read through your manuscript again, taking notes, and revise it, go through your notes again and revise it, or you're going to hand your story over to an alpha reader or two. Alpha readers are the first readers to read your manuscript once it's completed. They read your earliest drafts. They're often giving you feedback from a writer-reader perspective, so they are not just your casual reader, but they're also not quite a critique partner, though they can be. They're more someone who would maybe read your book, but who also writes. So I would never alpha read for someone because I don't do a lot of writing myself. I do beta read though. Well, we're going to discuss that later. Now you're going to incorporate your alpha reader's feedback. Remember, you are the author. You don't have to change everything that they suggest. Often they'll just be pointing out issues they see. They might not always give solutions, sometimes they might. Either way, you get to decide whether you think that's a problem or not, and whether you think their suggested solution will work or not. So, you are going to go through your manuscript again, looking at their feedback, and make any additional revisions that you want to make. Now, you're going to let it rest again. I suggest letting it sit for 2 to 4 weeks. Why? Because you want to come back to your manuscript for the next round with somewhat of fresh eyes. Of course, that's never fully possible when it's your own manuscript, but in this next round, you're going to be focusing on slightly more detailed aspects of your manuscript. So you want to come at it with fresh eyes. So take that break for 2 to 4 weeks and then come back. After you've given your eyes and your mind a break from your manuscript, you're going to read through it again. This time you're going to read slowly and you're going to be focused on more detailed aspects of your writing. You're going to be looking for unintentional, annoying repetition of words and phrases that you tend to overuse, repetition of description, and repetition of action beats. You're also going to look for odd sounding or confusing sentences that you had to reread in order to understand. And then you're going to find those typos, punctuation errors, and spelling errors. Make revisions as you go along. Start from the beginning and just comb through that manuscript. After moving through the process that I describe in this video, you'll have gone from a finished first draft to a fully self-edited manuscript. In my next video, I'll describe the next part of the process, and that might include a developmental editor, beta readers, a line editor or a copy editor, and definitely proofreading.